Hi everyone, we are back at Stahleck with round 2. Second game is going to be between ErgMachon, as someone told me to pronounce this. It was Ini, so not entirely credible, but let's assume he's correct. From France, and Chrissie from the Netherlands. And with me again is Sarah. Hello.
Hello.
So we have players are just doing setup. Chrissie is still shuffling, so we can have a look at the decks. We have Night's Watch Reigns of Castamere, and we have another Stark Crossing, but this is not the same version that Dennis is playing, so Chrissy won one of the national events. I think, was it the German Nationals?
French nationals.
French Nationals with Stark Crossing. Slightly different, okay, same Rashi concept, but slightly different set of cards. And Night's Watch Reigns, okay, was successful last year as well at Stahleck. It's going to play probably some of the big characters with great ranging that can trigger Reigns. And let's see. So players still have a chance to mulligan this. So what's the matchup like here? So Crossing usually doesn't defend itself that well, right? So you should be able to trigger Reigns against them. But then Reigns could be weak on some icons and could get rushed by Crossing as well.
Yeah, so I think from what I heard, Chris's Crossing plays a lot of attachments, the Dire Wolf attachments, right? He plays Greywind and stuff like that, so if there's more than one on one character, you can get pointy end in range.
Interesting.
I don't know what other dangers, maybe Wildfire would be awkward for Stark. Crossing, you usually want to swarm with a lot of small characters. What are other dangers from Reigns?
Well, usually, I guess in Grand ranging decks, I'm guessing it would be Power Behind the Throne, would be one of the Reigns plots. Can try Varys' Riddle, usually some play Forgotten Plans.
Yeah, Forgotten Plans for the winter festivals, right?
Yeah. Against Dennis, it would work against Withering Cold as well. Okay, there's a Rose Road in hand, I can recognize it. Okay, so for Stark there is Bear Island Scout, Bran, and this we learned last game was Sansa, card in Shadows. And on the other side there's Rose Road, so Econ advantage. Spare Boot, there's Malin, Three Finger Hob, and the alt art card has a reserve modifier, so it's Old Stewart or Samuel, right?
Yeah, I think I can't see any other text like inside that Sam would have, so I'm guessing it would be Old Stewart. And the card in Shadows, I would usually assume for Stark is Mira, but we saw last game. Dennis also played Small Folk Mob, so maybe that's an option as well.
Okay, so we have the Maiden into time for Wolves, that ties initiative, so...
It's a bit of an unusual opening, right?
Yeah, so Summer is not going to fetch anything, so just Greywind.
Well, Summer and Greywind would be in a pot together at this time, right?
With the plot or just with each other?
No, with each other.
Okay, so he's playing the attachment, right, and he's going to fetch it here. That's the only thing that makes sense cost-wise.
Okay, fetches Lady.
Okay, one cost, so it's basically like a 4 gold opening. Maybe has Greywind in hand, or... well, Sansa is there, so with Crossing she stands with Lady.
And pretty big strength. On Crossing challenge with Lady she would have 8 strength. fairly decent for a 2-cost character.
And ErgMachon goes first. Needs a bit more strength to trigger Reigns. Now, questionable in round 1 what you can really do. You can play Varys' Riddle and search for a direwolf. It is possible to have one in Night Switch.
I was like, we'll search for Ghost. Okay, so that's Stuart at the wall.
Already within reach of a good red cook, but Bran is there. Good Daemon. Chance to play Morghulis offensively at some point. Yeah, all the small guys.
So that's Gran.
And the Miner's Pick coming on the Hob.
So that gives +1, right?
Yes, which means he would have 7 altogether on the Intrigue challenge if he wanted to trigger Reigns.
Yeah, assuming that is old Stuart and not Samuel, right?
Yeah, Samuel would make it 6 then, yes.
Yeah, and depending on what Chrissie marshals now, he may want to use Maestrom Yulin to stop potential crossing trigger. Chrissie only has 3 gold, no econ. And right now taking either intrigue or military would mean no crossing.
Yeah, could be useful. I mean, he intentionally played the low gold lot in the opening. He must have some kind of plan what to do with his game now.
Okay, so that's passing the black gate. Could get solid 3 characters in.
Okay, that would be giant pool, right?
And Rick.
Well, Rick is kind of annoying because you have to take his ability seriously.
Yeah. Forces you to defend, but right now Nightwatch doesn't have a problem with spending 1 icon, I think.
But he did marshal plenty of intrigue icons, so he can now defend against the Reigns trigger and without really just needing everything out. But still, Malin could just take Baron and Scout's military here, right?
And he doesn't have extra gold to move Lady now. To stand Sansa.
So first of all, does military with Gran, and that's unopposed, so Giant Pool dies for that. So he's keeping the military icon. Of course, Lady is terminal, so definitely don't want to kill Barrel and Scout at this point. And now does he force him to spend some defense on the intrigue? No, it's just going to attack with Hob. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything really threatening in the Reigns deck. I mean, you could play Game of Thrones, but even then it's a problem because Sansa's pretty big. Although she doesn't actually beat Aemon and Old Stewart and Malin. That stops Chris's challenges, I guess.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to probably mill out all the intrigue icons because then, right, if he attacks with all of them to trigger reigns, then they can...
Yeah, of course, it's not a good situation. I'm just thinking what Rain's plots could do, anything, but in this kind of opening situation with the charts on both sides.
So I think he did block now military icon on Bear Island. Not Bear Island, Scott. So I guess Chrissie accepts that there's no crossing, collects 1 power and 1 for dominance.
Very opposed, of course, and we saw superior claim being lost to intrigue claim, which is useful.
For Rain's deck, of course.
Okay, so now what? Winter Festival and such?
Yeah, what do you think for the Night Watch player?
I mean, sometimes they can play Late Summer Feast because they can flip out of it. That stops Winter Festival and gives him a chance to marshal something bigger, like a great ranging, so maybe that could be the plan. Well,
Okay, so he reveals here to serve.
and it is Winter Festival there, so that's going to trigger, unless there is a rains into Forgotten Plans.
But what can Night's Watch find now?
So Malin is in play and Aemon is in play, and he finds another Aemon.
Feels like a bit of a strange choice.
Well, was it supposed to counter anything? Is there another Meister? There could be Meister Coleman, neutral one. Sam,
Yeah.
you can't search for him, right? Because it's 3 or lower.
So, is it like the wolf plot? Where you can
No, I think you can only search for at cost 3 or lower and put it into play. But he took Aemon immediately, so looks like that was the only target really. So one scheme super duped, which means he probably will play Morgulis at some point now. Although one dupe would have sufficed, I think. Saves himself and then he is able to save someone else.
Yeah, and Crossing doesn't usually play Morgulis, right?
Yeah, I've never seen it yet.
So who's going first, Chrissie?
Yeah, so ErgMachon won initiative.
Marshal's named Miria.
Which is useful, so it's intimidate on a character that can stand with Lady. And Lady gives her +2. So she's pretty big.
She's currently on 3 strength.
Yeah, so she's 4 printed and then -1 for giant pool into that pile.
Still pretty good.
And here
And
comes
then of course the Crossing bonus gives her another 2.
Iron Emmet stops Mira if he is not. And gets a long claw. So there's a chance to go slightly faster, although it's not a character that stands.
Yeah, that's probably looking for something like Divan or John.
So does Chrissie have the gold for Mira?
It does. He has 3 gold left. Initiates a military challenge. Strength 2.
Yeah, no Malin trigger. That could have just ruined the crossing plan, right? Just take military, then you force whatever is in shadows to come out. Although now if he kneels Iron Emmet, then characters with a military icon cannot enter play.
Yeah.
I think he's now kind of looking just to leave everything and attack back.
Oh, or is it this? Yeah, this is a miracle challenge. He does actually have one power on the faction card, so...
He can defend this if he wants renown on defense. So Gran can move power onto another attacking character if two attack together. Maybe he's looking at that, right? Leave everything and then I'll attack back. Get some power with Gran. Okay, the character won't be standing, but still. But it is risky. There's Intimidate there as well. And he brings Mira out. I think the challenge is unopposed. I think ErgMachon said he's not going to defend. So Mira comes out while Iron Emmet is still standing. And what is Mira going to blank? Blanks Malin.
Fair enough. Get two challengers with Sansa. There's still one gold left that can move Lady. So Longclaw gives +1 strength as well as renown, right?
Yes.
So he would be at 5. And Sansa attacks Intrigue with strength 3.
Yeah, I think there was a discussion here. Chrissie said Intrigue with strength 4, but Jane Poole is in the death pile, so... Blocks with 1. And yeah, Chrissie moves Lady, which brings her to 5, right? Yes, so he's winning by 4. That's another one of those Sword Stewards. And yeah, so this is a problem now, because if we're not missing anything, so he's won by 4 and he's just intimidated a 5 strength character with her. I think the players missed this. I think they forgot about Jane Poole there. Unless Sansa is somehow blanked, but she's not, because Mira blanked Malin, right?
Yes, I think so. And she does a power challenge now. That is blocked by Spare Boot.
Yeah, she's now even bigger, of course, because it's the crossing challenge. And that doesn't leave all that much. Well, still some characters. Just making sure what Gran doesn't want him to attack, or does he?
So he needs another character, so I think he's happy to intimidate Maester Mulin if that the ability is what he's worried about. He now only has has 2 to block Intrigue, so there is now 6. Or, yeah, 6. So he will need to block with both of them to stop rains from happening, and now Pointy End is a threat, right? We lose 2 pretty valuable attachments.
Yeah. And this is now 6. Yeah, minor speak still there. He could have intimidated a 2 strength character, but he has enough.
Then I think gets a military challenge with Gran. Can move 1 power on Maestro.
Oh, and he hits Greywind. So wonder if that was in hand when he played the Time for Wolves. It is a good attachment. It gives stealth as well. Now he can get rid of the Bear Island Scout because there's no one lady on him.
And also with Lady, that's a pretty cheap trigger for Greywind, since you can have Summer to replay him.
Well, Winter Festival. And that means it's 8 power for Chrissie. He is alright after 2 rounds. Now does he have another one? Some decks do play 2 Winter Festivals. Well, then you're almost tempted to play Winter Reserves in a deck like that as well. Time for Wolves is also Winter, right?
Yes. Yeah, but Winter Reserves is a bit slower, and for crossing decks, not sure if it works out. Chrissie had selected something, but he's having second thoughts. Now what would Morgulis do here? Because we have everything dying on one side, and the other side keeps aim on Hob and probably Iron Emmet. Well,
And the Econ, 3 Rose Roads and the Miner's Peak, so we're fine with Morgulis there.
wondering if Chrissie also plays Crown. Would help him keep 3 characters, although it would also protect 2 characters, 3 actually, from Night's Watch.
And it's actually the father. So did he, I wonder if he initially had the crown, or did he have something else and then reconsidered?
Yeah, interesting. So father is restricted at that point. So that means no great ranging, right?
Okay, that's interesting. Night's Watch range without great raging. Is that true? That seems so unlikely. But yeah. So we have the father into the crown, which means cannot choose strength 1 characters.
Great ranging is still restricted, it's not just spotted with setting, right?
I think so. Okay. Card in the shadows. So this time, okay, we have Ghost. So there was a direwolf. This time ErgMachon goes first, even though he won initiative, so wants to kill something, I'm guessing, because the crown is, as we saw in the last game that Dennis played against Targaryen, can be problematic for the opponent, right? Because you don't have flexibility as to which character to choose for military claim. At this point, it would have to be Sansa.
Yeah, right now you can only choose Sansa, which loses you Lady as well. completely, right? Because it's terminal and then Nymeria goes back to hand. Have to play her.
Yeah, I mean you could switch lady off of Sansa. There's another strength 1 character. Bear Island Scout is going to search for Daisy, of course.
Now there's 5 gold left. So if you do Marshal Daisy, you only can move 1 attachment away from Sansa. And she's still the one dying, right? Because yeah, this is also protected by the crown.
Yeah, she can't live play this round, but I think at this point he is starting to suspect Morghulis, so may as well dupe everything he can. And the Northern Armory. Annoyingly good icon card for Stark. Okay, so needs to switch lady off of Sansa in marshalling because she's once per phase the move effect, so you have to kneel Sansa for a challenge and then you can switch lady back, but
I think Sansa is dying before, right?
yeah,
I don't see any way to defend military here.
at the moment seems like she is. That gives Mira 3 strength and she has stealth, so Iron Helmet can't stealth her, but nowhere near strong enough. Now if Gran is in the challenge, gets his ability as well.
Yeah. So that's 8 and stealth by Island Scout.
There's gold, plenty of gold left. He cannot stop a put to the sword if it's in hand anyway. He's going to switch Nymeria once we're in play, not in hand. He's prepared to let Sansa die now.
Yeah, moves 1 power for Gran's ability and thinking Night Watch Reigns probably doesn't play put to the sword.
Well, you say that, but I think Lucas's version does. The one we did for the Friendly Council, I think, had put to the sword. Had Forest Patrol as well for military strength. So it's, I wouldn't discount it completely.
So took 1 power for Gran and 1 for Rina, right? Was confused there for a second.
Yeah, 7-4, but he's still leaving a lot of the board standing.
And there's still a threat of point end now. He put both attachments on Mira. Now I don't think Lady has a play restriction other than Stark card. But I think Nymeria has to be a unique character.
No idea, but I believe you.
Is unique Stark and Lady is just Stark.
So this is intrigue for 6. And Mira is strong enough to stop Reigns. Could have attacked with 8, which would force Chrissie to defend with 4. Then it would be spare boot against Bear, Scout and Bran. Left in play. Guess didn't feel it was that necessary to do that.
Yeah, and there's still Northern Armory that you can spend.
Right. That even gives you the crossing trigger pretty reliably, I guess, if Malin is there to attack.
Yeah, and you do have to be mindful of Rick's ability as well, right? If you kneel out all your intrigue icons.
Yeah, so what's non-loyal here? Iron Emmet is non-loyal, right?
Iron Emmet, yes. Gran, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Hob might be loyal.
Hob is loyal, and that's about it, I think. So I can pretty much take anything. Well, Iron Emmet is a stealth character. Okay, so Spareboot will oppose Bran.
So that's 0 to 2 now. Because it's the first challenge.
Suppose anyway, even though it's 0 strength.
Yeah, I guess there is a possibility for Chrissie to move Lady, right? One thing, and we saw that Dennis plays Wolf in the Night.
Yeah, but Lady is +2, so then Bran would win anyway, and he plays.
But I think if he just moves Lady, he can then move some of the attachments to Spareboot, right?
Right, but this is +3. Gives Bran exactly 3, and Spareboot could defend with 3 if he takes Long Claw or Minor Speak. And now this is a Strength 1 military challenge. Just checking if he really needs to worry about Rick. He does, to be fair. I mean, there's not going to be any surprises forcing unopposed with other cards. He's just there to mess with you, so that you have to deal with him. He achieves that basically now. And he is strong enough, right?
Yeah, so I think Meister Malin doesn't have any buffs, right? He just goes.
Yeah, so Chrissie gets the crossing, gets the intrigue claim, and that gets him up to 11 without spending the armory.
Looked like it was gonna be a bad route for crossing, but turned out pretty good. Yeah, and a lot of gold left over for Night's Watch.
And now the father actually, everything is strength 1, so that won't even trigger.
Yeah, there's no legal target on the stacks.
Yeah, so he has Spareboot, he's chosen him, but now he's looking, okay, can't choose anything from the other side, which means the plot just fizzles entirely. Don't need to choose, it doesn't say Fable, so don't need to choose yours if you can choose a character from every player. So he stays in play, which if he's going to play Morghulis is not in his favor.
Which I would think he does. He chose the one duped character on the Stark side, not the one with now. He attempted to choose one.
Plenty of Econ, and the Hob keeps drawing, so there comes Morghulis. Okay, the Harris can just keep things out of the death pile, but it's not great. Chrissie has to go first.
And of course, only chooses Mirror, right?
Yeah. And on the other side we have a duped Iron Emmet. There's Aemon and Hob. Together they are 10. Actually, Aemon doesn't even save anyone in that situation. And there's a Ghost on Malin, so can't even keep them all that would survive Morghulis, but okay. Okay. So he's keeping Malin, Iron Emmet and the Reducer and Gran. But now Morghulis needs to be resolved. I think he's realized now that he didn't actually think this one through properly.
Yeah.
He had the duped characters there. No reason to keep Gran and the Reducer if you're not going to keep Aemon. So they just die.
Yeah.
And
Could have saved, right?
the Ghost was there. Ghost was there, he just took him back to hand. I think he's annoyed with himself at this point. Could have, because Iron Emmet and Malin in play against Mira, that's not a disaster even with a slight brain fart on the plots there, but that's playable still, right?
Yeah. And we know there's Daisy on the Stark side, which is
Hmm.
keeps long word. I guess to move attachments and maybe there's another event.
Up to 10, so can close, I guess, this round with that armory particularly. Morgulis can flip into claim if there's an intrigue icon coming in. But yeah, looks difficult now. There is econ.
So there is Saturn, so definitely no great ranging.
Yeah, so that was one of the changes in the restricted list prior to Stahleck, I think, was to just remove Satin from the normal restricted list and just do a pot with great ranging on him. These other stewards to stand, I guess, in this deck.
And now I think there's no other characters in his hand.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, right?
Yeah, kind of.
And Maestro Mulin taking stopping one challenge from Daisy.
Yeah, and if he kept, if he resolved to Harris better, would have an additional character then, and maybe it could still be a game. But yeah, well, that's second game, and we'll see what happens in round 3. So thank you all for joining us on this one.